Alright, today is day 39 of freedom, and I really mean it when I express how free I've been ever since I quit masturbating. It's like the equivalent of having a 4th of July every day, right? Every day's the 4th of July, just like the Chicago song. It really is. Let me explain why. Yesterday I was at, in Bellevue, Washington, we have a board game, almost like a conference. There's more events today. I'm just about to head out to that. And I was talking to people about various games and how I program them and the strategies involved in them. And I didn't feel constrained by, oh my god, when is this conversation going to end? I can't wait to go out to my car and masturbate. I used to be constrained a lot by those kind of things. Just the other day, I was talking to my boss about suggestions for future summer courses. Right, we were teaching SAT prep, and as I'm talking about how we could rearrange some furniture because I had some posture issues, I talked about scheduling. I didn't feel constrained by, oh my god, when is my boss going to shut up so I can go to the bathroom and go masturbate? I used to be constrained by that kind of stuff a lot. I can't tell you how many times. But to give you an idea of how far I got with not masturbating, I had a little bit of a problem with scheduling at work because I had promised myself, because I had a hard time making it to day 10 of NoFap. So I promised myself when I make it to day 10, I'm going to allow myself to cheat a little bit on the intermittent fasting. Because usually I wouldn't eat lunch until 3 p.m., 4 p.m. So I promised myself that if I made it to day 10, I would take myself to Five Guys, where they have my favorite fries. They're made of peanut oil, which I do very well with. I have some eczema problems with other ingredients. And I go there, but I'm very rushed. We have half an hour in between two sections of courses, and it didn't go very well. And I was upset because that had been all I had been looking forward to all week, because I told myself I just need to make it to day 10 to make this work out. And right now I'm at day 39. But so this was 29 days ago when this had transpired. Now I get to Five Guys and I'm feeling very rushed, and it just brought back bad impressions of back when I used to have much more serious binge eating problems, and I'm upset. And I get back to the classroom. Meanwhile, my coworker, who is married, her husband had brought some food for her. And it just upset me, because as it is, singles are already very disadvantaged just by their situation, and then at work sometimes they get even more disadvantaged, right? So after I had a few days to think over this, I wanted to talk to my boss about scheduling, and I explained to my boss, as it is, I understand that we have a lot of students for this is a plaza that we're working out of for the amount of real estate here. And I think you got students who are forming good habits. It would be nice if they could have time to go away to actually sit down to a meal, as opposed to just shoving their face, right? They're coming here 5 days a week for tutoring. And my boss says, well, yeah, but unfortunately, as it is, we can't change the schedule mid-semester because they won't have a ride back home. Understandable, right? But I'm just giving for future reference. And he said, sure. And I explained to him how I had corrected some eating disorder problems in the past year. And the other day when I went to Five Guys, what had happened, and that's what brought up the idea that maybe the students could use some good formative habits before they become what I was 2 years ago, right? That's the kind of flavor I put it in. And I says, next time you want to get Five Guys, why don't you let me know? I'll see if I can go pick it up, because he's usually working with other things at his desk, and gave me a good feeling that he had put it that way. I never asked him to pick up Five Guys after that. I told him that I just had a good celebration the other day, and I told him that, well, aside from eating disorders, there's some other bad habit that I recently kicked, and so I had promised myself to that I would take myself to Five Guys if I made it 10 days. Didn't tell him what the habit was. And he said, he probably assumed that I had used some painkillers for legitimate purposes and now was getting off. That's the flavor I got when he answered me. I bet he never guessed it was masturbating, though. But I feel so free that I could actually sit down and have that conversation with him. Years ago, I would have never had that conversation because, oh my God, when do I get to go out to masturbate? That's the kind of problem I had at my last job, actually. I was working at a different tutoring center, and I so badly wanted a certain day off because the night before there was a lunar eclipse, and I didn't want to feel rushed. I go up to my boss. Hey, there's a lunar eclipse 2 weeks from now. Oh, cool. What do you hope to do? I want to take some good photographs. Cool, cool. Can you show me when you come back? I was hoping he would follow up with, do you need the day before off or the day after off? Because I had witnessed my other coworkers taking time off for various other things, for especially family-oriented events, funerals, weddings, graduations, birthday parties. And I wasn't sure about his background, if lunar eclipse was a legitimate event to take a day off, because all the other events that I saw off were family kind of events. And my boss, he's Turkish, I think he's Muslim, and I just wasn't sure if that was a legitimate reason to take a day off. And at the time, I didn't want to rock the boat because we had already lost a number of coworkers. Great resignation, unfortunately, and I didn't want him to think that I was on my way out. Didn't want to give the wrong impression. Just a really bad circumstance, and plus, as we're talking, now my urge is getting up, right? And oh my God, I want to get out to my car to masturbate, right? Anyway, it just puts a big constraint on your life when you're craving masturbating all the time. It's kind of like I don't know how people handle cigarette cravings. I cannot imagine talking to your boss, negotiating to buy a car, negotiated buying coins at a coin show, or playing backgammon competitively at a tournament, and the urge to smoke is just sitting there nagging at you all day and all night and interrupting you when you need to negotiate. I just cannot imagine how people do that, but that's how I used to live with masturbating. And the tricky thing is I can't even tell you. You can tell your boss, oh my God, I need a cigarette, right? Why don't we come back to this talk later? What do I tell my boss? I need to go out to my car to go fuck myself? That doesn't work very well, right? Anyway, freedom. Every day's the 4th of July.